Well, hi, my name's Joe Rafferty. I'm the CEO of VESTECK Incorporated. Comes from two words, vessel technology. We're a Westchester, Pennsylvania based early stage startup. I've had a decades long career commercializing endovascular devices. And when the founders of VESTECK called me, recruited me to the CEO role, I was able to leverage my relationships with physicians and industry to validate a significant unmet need and validate the importance of this catheter. So I'd love to tell you about it. Our first device is called the Suture-Tight Catheter. It delivers nitinol sutures either when the physician is doing the index procedure, the initial procedure, or if the patient has to come back for repair procedures. And it's important to remember, we don't sell endovascular grafts. We're not going to compete with Medtronic, Cook, Gore, but what we do is sell a suturing catheter that sutures these grafts in place, makes the grafts last longer, makes patients to live longer. What's the problem? Well, if a family member or friend was diagnosed with an aortic aneurysm, they have two therapeutic options, a painful, long recovery, open surgical repair. And if they went to the procedure with any type of comorbidities, there's a very high risk of perioperative mortality, almost 20%. 80% of the patients around the world are selecting what's called an endovascular repair, where a physician creates two small holes in the femoral arteries in the groin and inserts what's called a covered stent or an EVAR graft. You can see up here in this box, there's nothing really holding this graft in place other than some friction, some radial force, versus the open surgical repair, which is sutured in place. The challenge with this is that the peer-reviewed literature is suggesting that these EVAR grafts are not durable and something needs to be done about it. Well, why now? As I said, it's become the standard of care across the globe. Number two, peer-reviewed literature is suggesting a 30% reintervention rate at 10 years is not acceptable. And payers are shifting from a fee-for-service to quality initiatives. We've estimated that we can save the global healthcare system about $9 billion in repair procedure costs if they use VESTECK in the index procedure. Well, the solution to the problem is endo anchors like ours. Medtronic is our only competitor out there, and thank goodness they've been plowing our green fields. They've spent a lot of time and money over the last 5 years documenting that when physicians seal the proximal cuff with endo anchors, the grafts don't leak, they don't migrate, aneurysms shrink, and patients live longer. Our device is called, I said, the Suture-Tight Catheter. We've got prototypes built. We've done proof of concept, preclinical work with animals, and we've done benchtop testing. This device is 10 times faster than our competitive device. It's precise, safe, secure. Because it comes preloaded with these sutures in the distal end of the catheter, we don't have sutures dropping out. The design's been validated and driven by physician input. And most importantly, it fits very nicely into the physician workflow. They install or implant the initial graft, and then over the same guide wires and through the same sheath, they insert our catheter and deliver these sutures, holding the graft in place. This is a platform technology. We've got 6 different catheters. The first device we'll bring to market is the EVAR device. Physicians have told us that they want to take this catheter to the structural heart and also to the GI markets. This is our biasing mesh. It holds the suture delivery window up against the wall of the graft, and these sutures are delivered. We've got 4 pair of sutures stretched out flat here in the distal aspect of the catheter, so that when we deliver them, they reform into their original design. This is what they look like when they've been delivered in the lumen of the graft. And this is what they look like going through all 3 layers of the aortic tissue. They secure the adventitia, which is the most important part of the aortic tissue. It's the strongest part of the vessel. And you can see here, this is the luminal surface of one of those Medtronic grafts. Physicians tell us that this device will become the standard of care for every EVAR and TVAR procedure that takes place. Bill Gray from Philadelphia says, Why would I not use this on every patient? As I said, we've got one competitive device, the Medtronic HaloFix. The good news is it's been extensively studied and endo anchors work. The better news is this extensive study has documented that 30% of these little corkscrews, when they're delivered, are of no use. They're mal-deployed. Physicians liken this to an old 1700s Revolutionary War rifle that you've got to take the supplier out every time you want to pick up an endo anchor from the applier here and deliver it back into the patient. Very time consuming and laborious, very slow. We're much faster because our device is preloaded. We're not dropping sutures, and we're much more precise in suture placement. The graft market is significant, $4.8 billion by 2028. We're going to bring an incremental $1 billion to that market. Clear 510K pathway, existing DRGs for hospital and physician payment, and we're targeting two initial markets, the initial placement or the initial implant market, and then also an existing million pre-installed base of grafts that are going to need to be repaired. We're raising an initial $3 million of a $12 million project to manufacture devices, to do our preclinical testing, and to get first in man accomplished. First in man should be a significant inflection point for an M&A opportunity. We're under CDA with all the major strategic players. As you may have heard, it is a big and valuable market. Philips just paid $360 million for Intact Vascular. And back in 2015, Aptus probably wasn't much more than 10 million in revenue, and Medtronic acquired them for $110 million. We've got two existing issued patents. We just filed recently our new one, and we're going to extend the moat around our intellectual property with these three teammates, Dr. Adoga, Ken Stalker, and Ted Wolfman. Between the three of them have got over 120 issued patents. We're going to issue more patents. We're going to execute and then exit. We've got a fantastic scientific advisory board. They are international KOLs. They've been on the podium for us already. They've been strategically selected, and we're blessed to have them on board. The VESTECK technology has a fantastic team. It is a great technology. It's addressing a significant global unmet need and provides a tremendous opportunity. As I said, this first round is a $3 million equity round. We are looking for our lead investor, and we've got multiple potential investments. Again, my name is Joe Rafferty. Looking forward to the opportunity to speak with all of you that are interested in learning more about VESTECK.